Pull out the garage and I'm working my brain. Hit the remote and then I turn on my thing. Swingers taking up like 3 or 4 lanes, looking like a plane. The swag is beautiful. I let the top down just so everyone can see me. My shit hard, but I make it look so easy. On the boulevard and I'm creeping. The swag is beautiful. Swag is beautiful. I got a woman. She's swag and beautiful. His bag is beautiful. Like with that money, you know what I do to you. I get your head just from someone that's cool with you. I grip the whip and I'm ready to scoop on you. I'm finna circle your back like a hula hoop. Soon as I see you, I jump out and shoot at you. Then I hop back in the whip again. Yeah, letting the topic like I'm 16. Yeah. That's my man K Gutter and Yellow Fella all the way from Houston, Texas. And today I'm rocking their hat. Big shout out to Texas. KG Gutter and Yellow Fella. Big shout out to Texas. Yes. Today we got a special guest coming on the show, guys. I can't stress it. I don't know what else to tell you, but I'm a big fan of this gentleman coming on the show today. So before we bring him on, I just want to say big shout out to Damon Feldman. Big shout out to Celebrity Boxing. Make sure you guys tune in. October 15 is the big fight. Lamar Odom will be fighting. My brother Hazel Roche will be in the building fighting as well. John Dams Jr. will be in the building. Josh Colon, man, you guys got to go there if y'all want to see the fight. If not, tune in on pay-per-view. You can watch the fight, right? And also, big shout out to all my viewers that come on the show and show the love on the Don Big Show. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome and fabulous. So today we have a very special guest from Texas, I believe. And he is an amazing guy. This guy not only has this talk show called Beyond, it's called, give me 1 second. It's called Beyond the Wind of the Woodline. He's also executive director of Jevering Group, and he's also a Bigfoot researcher. Boy, this guy do it all. So we're going to bring him on the show. We're going to talk to him about Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you guys decide to call it. And we're going to find out exactly what this guy got off the sleeves. All right? So please welcome everybody, the one and only, down from Texas, y'all already know what it is, Bigfoot researcher, Joe De Hoyos. Please welcome. Yeah. What's up, Joe?
Man, what's up, man? I appreciate that great introduction, dude. Man, that was you gave me a lot to live up to, man.
Hey, a lot of practice, you know.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate the hat, man. The Stros are going strong right now, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming aboard the show. Big shout out to Texas. You already know Houston in the building right now. Okay. Sure. So, I was on your show a couple of days ago. Right. And I want to thank you for having me on your show as well. We had a great time. We talk about a few things. But today we're going to talk about what you got going on. Because what you got going on is very interesting. We know you're a talk show host for Beyond the Woodline, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Executive director of Jennings Group, and you're also a Bigfoot or Sasquatch researcher. So let's start with the talk show. Okay. What got you into creating your own talk show?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, man, I've always been interested in, of course, all cryptids, Bigfoot, Dogman, Mothman, things like that, the paranormal, UFOs, aliens. So I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. And what's up, Robert, man? Thanks for joining.
What's up, Robert? Texas in the building.
That's right, man. Good dude, too. He's a good dude.
Okay.
But, yeah, I've always been interested since I was a little kid. And I had a neighbor. I was 7, 8 years old, and he had all these stories, just different stories about Bigfoot and paranormal and UFOs. I don't know where he got them, considering you're talking about the late '70s, early '80s, and but he just really brought something out in me, and I just had to find out more. And as I grew older, I read a lot of books, and even at the library, our school library, we maybe had one or two books about the subjects, and I would check them out and read them all the time.
Okay.
And like you get after high school, you get married and have kids, and that kind of stuff goes on a back burner. But right around 2012, I started getting back into the whole Bigfoot thing when the shows are coming out. And,
Mm.
that just piqued my interest again, and I got into investigating and researching, and now I'm like knee deep in all this stuff. And a couple years ago, I started my show, and that's where I got the name Beyond the Woodline. Coming from my background of being a Bigfoot researcher, there's more
Right.
to life, and there's more to this universe than Beyond the Woodline. So that's what I started doing, and that's where I got the name from, and started just researching UFOs and paranormal and remote viewing, psychics, mediums, all that's
All
strange and
types of.
unknown.
Okay. 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 So what do you enjoy most of having your show?
Meeting different people, man. Meeting people like yourself, and getting to talk to just people from all over the country and all over the world. Really, I've had people from Australia, from Ireland, Great Britain, Canada. So that's one of the best things that I like about my show, and of course, hearing people's stories and their encounters and their experiences and getting their perspectives on the different, on their different fields of their expertise.
Right. You know what? I enjoy the same thing. I enjoy talking to people, especially from all over the world. We encounter different things, different opinions, different, topics and stuff. That's what I enjoy more. And just meeting a new friend
Right.
on the other side of the world. You know, and that's amazing. Thanks to technology nowadays, we don't have to travel to meet anybody. We can meet
Right.
we can meet people right here on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
On the other side of the world. So I get it. I enjoy that. I enjoy that as well. What's your show mostly about?
Um, Paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs. I try to cover everything. But I have had people on there talk about remote viewing, conspiracy theories. Uh, like I said, psychic mediums, Ouija boards, whatever. I try to have a variety of different subjects.
Okay. Have you so you said your friend got you into uh becoming a researcher with Bigfoot,
Yeah, he
or
definitely stoked
that's
those
what you said?
flames.
Okay. All right. Okay, I get it.
And then along the way, I met Will Jevning, and that's when I got with his group, the Jevning Research Group, and um,
Yeah. Well,
I
well
just
tell
branched
tell the
out and
view
got to.
tell the viewers who that guy is.
So Will Jevning, for those of you guys who don't know, he's has over 40 years experience researching Bigfoot. He also has his own podcast, which is called Creek Devil. Um, it's on YouTube, but he's had over 40 years experience. He's actually was friends with John Green and Renee DeHenden. Those two guys are like considered the pioneers of Bigfoot research. They were like the first two guys to really go after Bigfoot, really search and make researching and investigating what it is today. And he became friends with those guys when he was a teenager, when he had his experience. One of his friends wrote a letter to, I believe, John Green. John Green got a hold of him, and him and Renee DeHenden became friends. And uh, so yeah, so meeting Will is like meeting Michael Jordan, really.
Right. Right. Do you still talk to these guys? Because you know I'm a fan,
Right,
and one of my biggest dreams is to be able to go research,
right,
go to an actual location
right,
and find uh sighting of it. Maybe a footprints. I don't know. Maybe even hearing them knocking.
right,
Knocking or even howling. That for me will be everything.
right. Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of the people that I actually go out with are people who have had experiences and people who had encounters, uh, or just people who have been researching for a long, long time. And
Right.
uh, but Will, yeah, Will really hooked me up with a bunch of people down here in Texas, and uh, of course, one of my best friends now, his name's Walter. He had an experience about 2 years ago, so me and him are going out to his location, and I've been lucky to find prints out there and heard wood knocks and growls and howls.
Wow.
I've had stuff thrown at me.
Wow.
We found a hog out there with his head ripped off one day.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, no bullet wounds, no stab wounds, no arrows, nothing. It was just had his head ripped off. And this is
Wow.
a big hog. I bet that hog was every bit of 250 pounds.
So you ain't never encountered one face to face.
No, not face to face. No.
Why do you think these creatures hide so well?
Well, I think there's
Because
a. I think any animal can really hide really well, but Bigfoot in particular, it's a primate. Primates are smarter than anything else out there. So uh, yeah, they're called the forest ninjas, and I think they see us a lot more than we see them. If
right.
anyone's ever gone out in the woods camping or hiking,
Yeah.
I bet if you look on a map and look under Bigfoot sightings in your area, you'll find that there have been sightings there, and you might be surprised that you were probably in an area that has had sightings.
Right. Like I live in Boston, but
Hmm.
Maine, New Hampshire, it's maybe like an hour away, hour and a half away from me, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was told there's big sightings in
Right.
Maine, New Hampshire, and in New Hampshire,
Yeah.
because it's at the border of Canada.
Right. Yeah, and that's a heavily wooded area also.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I got a friend of mine that lives in Maine. He lives up north in Maine, and he lives on private property, and he has them come up to his property. He's got all kind of recordings also of howls and wood knocks, and he's found footprints, on his property.
Wow.
Yeah,
Excuse me. That's incredible. The fact that we're living in a world where we have so many creatures that we have never seen, we heard of, but we
right,
never seen. Um, just recently, I heard that the U.S. Navy came out and spoke about the UFOs do exist, and they seen it was 113 sightings
right,
last year or this year,
right,
either last year or this year of UFOs. So
right.
they starting to come out and talk about it. And I'm pretty sure the government know about Sasquatch, or probably even captured one
Right.
and not talking about it.
Right. I think it's the same thing with the UFOs. They know a lot more than what they're going to tell us. I don't know why.
Right.
What the big deal is. The only thing I can think of when it comes to Bigfoot is money. There's some money involved. Um, One of the things that or theories that the Bigfoot community has is that if these creatures come out and they're an unknown primate, um, they would probably get put on the endangered species list, which means they would stop all logging, you know, and
Right.
logging accounts for a third of our economy,
Right.
because talk about homes being built, buildings being built, and not just those, but also the other jobs that come along with that: sheetrock, roofing, metal, windows,
Right.
tile, all that. You know, you stop building homes, you put a lot of people out of work.
So besides New Hampshire, Canada, where are some of the locations that you know of that are most active?
Really, there's a lot of active places in the United States: Florida, Georgia,
Mm,
California, of course, Oregon, Washington State, of course, here in Texas, Louisiana. I mean, anywhere there's a lot of forests. These things are out there. These creatures are out there. Um, and being as big as Texas is, this is where I like to do all my research. And the San Houston Forest is actually, I think, the second or the third biggest forest in the country. So
wow.
there's a lot of room to roam.
Mm.
and that's like an
That's
hour north of me.
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, has anyone that you researched has captured one or that you know of?
No, I don't think there's been too many documented people who've actually captured one. There's been like stories that are out there on the internet where people have captured them that they wind up dying and the bodies wind up mysteriously disappearing. Uh,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, yeah. Uh, we hear stories all the time of them being shot. You know, uh, there's no really good confirmation, but a lot of people claim to have shot them, and I believe that they probably have been shot a lot more than what we know. Uh, I, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I will never. I'm not pro kill as far as just go kill one just to prove it.
Right,
But if you got to defend yourself, you got to defend yourself.
right. I mean, I wouldn't kill it. I think I wound it, like a leg shot. You know,
Well,
with a
I've
high
known
pop.
people who have told me that they've shot these things in the legs or in the arms or even in the chest, and they didn't even move.
What?
So yeah, if you're gonna try to put one down, you gotta you gotta try to put it down because uh, a regular bullet ain't gonna put this down. And there's so many hunters who have said that they didn't shoot because they knew what they had wasn't big enough to put it down. You know,
Wow.
so they said if I would have shot this thing, all I would have did was piss it off. You know.
Right, right. 'Cause I can imagine,
Yeah.
and you can overrun it. You know,
No, no,
you
no,
can't
no.
overrun that.
No, man, I've talked to people who have seen these things take down deer and moose, chase them down.
Wow,
You're not going to outrun a deer or a moose. So you're certainly not going to outrun one of these things.
I know. Especially to the forest, like
Yeah.
you got to jump over trees, rocks,
Knock
branches.
them, knock them down, just mow them over.
Yeah, we're not built. We're not built to be in the forest.
No, no.
Not
Yeah,
at
yeah. I
all.
don't care who you are. If you're a survival guy, you're not built like an animal.
No, no, no way. We just built to go tourist that place.
Yeah. Yeah, to
That's
go
it.
camping. That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Stay your ass by the river
Dude,
and
I'm telling you, man,
tour.
I've been stuck with thorns, and I'm like, man, the hell with this. I'm going to make a camp.
And the mosquitoes. Imagine the mosquitoes must be
Yeah.
as big as my head.
Yeah, ticks, snakes,
Oh,
you know.
forget about it. Forget about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Have you spoken to anyone that's actually seen a Sasquatch or a
Oh
Bigfoot
yeah.
that's actually been there? What have they said? What has been their experience?
The people that I spoke to, it was one of the most terrifying things that ever happened to them. Uh, one of my friends, he's actually a military guy. He's a veteran, and he was in, I believe, Afghanistan. He said this was thing scared him beyond anything he's ever been scared of before.
Wow.
Um, and the one he saw was about 9.5 feet tall,
Oh my
and
God.
it put the fear of God in him really, really bad. And when I first met him, anytime we would go out, I mean, his head was on a swivel. He was white knuckling that steering wheel. He would get sweaty and clammy. Now he's in pretty good shape. When we go out to the woods, he's in pretty good shape. But yeah, I've talked to quite a few people who have seen him and ran into him, and I've talked to hunters who told me that they'll never go hunting again. Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. So I've talked to countless people who have seen these things, and for the most part, everyone that I've talked to has told me that they're flesh and blood creatures.
Okay. So, what is your goal? What is your goal by researching Bigfoot? What is the goal that you're trying to accomplish here?
I really want to get just to know more information about these creatures. If they ever come to into the public eye and are officially recognized, I like to be able to say, "Hey, this is what I know. This is these are my pictures. These are my recordings. Of what I have, and hopefully I can use that." But as for now, I'm really just trying to help anyone who's had a bad encounter or who has had a sighting and trying to figure out what happened to them and why it happened to them. That's a big question people have is like, why me? Why me? I don't know if there's any
Yes.
true answer to that, but I at least want to be there and help them out and just kind of spread some knowledge and some good information about these creatures to anyone who wants to know, anybody who wants to listen.
Right. Have you ever have anybody ever emailed you or sent you any pictures of a Sasquatch sighting or anything of that sort?
Yeah, yeah. I've actually get quite a few pictures. Some pictures you can't really tell too well, of course. Some pictures are pretty decent. Um, I get emails, quite a bit of emails from people just tell me their story that they just want to tell me their story, and they don't necessarily want to get on the show or broadcast what happened to them, but they definitely just want to tell somebody who's going to believe them.
Okay. So when they tell you the story, is it similar to other stories that you hear from other people,
Yeah,
or
there's
is
a
it
lot
different?
of similarities. There's a lot of similarities. And the funny thing is that a lot of people are actually just camping or just hiking or just hunting. They're not really out there looking for these creatures. And a lot of these people are like, I never knew these things existed, or I've heard about them, and I thought people were just full of shit. When
Right.
they talk about them, I've had people tell me that. You're like, man, I've heard about these creatures my whole life growing up in this area. I never saw one, and I thought people were full of shit when they would talk about it until they saw it.
Till
You
they
know?
saw it.
Yeah,
All it takes is one time.
yeah, yeah. And I've had people straight up tell me I'll never go hunting again. I'll never go in the woods again, or I'm moving to the city.
So, um, how long, regarding to your research, these creatures have been around for?
Man, these creatures have probably been around just as long as we have. I mean, there's been sightings that go back to the Viking days when the
Mm,
Vikings came here to America.
right.
Leif Erikson, which is one of the most famous Vikings that there is, said that when he came to this country, that the men were big, hairy, and smelly. You
Ooh,
know,
that's a
yeah,
Sasquatch.
yeah, yeah. What else could he be describing, right?
Right.
Um, Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone ran into these things. The Native Americans, even the indigenous people up north in Canada have been talking about these things for hundreds of years, thousands of years. These things have probably been around just as long as we have. And
You think they're related to like cave people? Remember back in the day, cavemen. They used to
right,
say they hairy, and some of
right.
them were tall.
I
Could
think
there
there
be a
are,
similarity of
yeah,
or going back
people,
that these people are actually related to cave people?
right, yeah. People have talked about these things looking like Neanderthals. That
Mm,
there's actually like different species.
right.
There's one that looks like a Neanderthal, one that looks more like a gorilla-ish type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one that looks like the Patty type, like the Patterson and Gimlin video,
Mm,
right? And then there's one that has the snout, which people call the dog man. So those are
wow.
like the four main species. But even though there are species all over the world, different countries, China, Russia, uh, Asia, yeah, or China and Asia, same thing. But, Australia,
Right. I heard Australia has and Russia
yeah,
has a lot of them. I
yeah,
actually seen one that was all white,
the Yeti, yeah.
the Yeti,
Even
all
though
white.
there are reported signs of brown and black Yeti also,
Mm. Wow. I
but
mean,
there are
like,
reports of a white Bigfoot here too.
yeah.
Yeah, and actually, it's not an uncommon color, white.
Why do you think no one has actually caught one, in your opinion?
I think these things are just too smart, too fast. Um, they're not going to just walk up to anyone. And I know there are stories out there where people talk about they're the friendly forest people, or they come up to them and talk to them all the time. But I don't think that's necessarily true. But
Right.
I don't tell anybody what they experienced or what they encountered either. But I just don't think these things are going to get captured. They don't want. They probably don't want anything to do with us, just like any other animal.
Right.
You know.
But at least other animals, they show themselves frequently.
Um, show themselves. Yeah, I guess you could say that they do show themselves, especially when they get used to people being around.
Right. You
You know.
know,
But like I said, these things are primates, and they probably know more about us than any other animal. They probably had more terrible encounters with us. We've probably tried to slaughter them throughout the years, and so they
right.
probably know better than to come. too close to us.
Right. Where would you where would you think, hypothetically, you think they will be hiding? Things this,
They
and they got families, because we know they got babies too,
right.
and they might be hundreds of them. Where can they hide where people don't really see them as much? I mean, I know they go way up in the mountains and stuff, but
Right. Well, I think there are plenty of cave systems that just we just don't even know about. People find caves all the time, and
right,
uh, so there are probably cave systems, and
underground,
just yeah, just staying deep in the woods is another thing. People just can't track through the woods the way these things can, the way any animal can really,
right,
uh, and they know when we're in the woods way before before we're too close to cause them any harm. And so I think they just know to keep their distance from us. And they people have reported seeing nests that resemble like gorilla nests.
right. I see that a lot. Nests, big nests too.
Right.
I've seen big branches broken way
Yeah.
up high.
And like
Um,
Lucas said, a lot of the woods are unexplored. Like I said, even
right.
here in the Sam Houston, uh, they might not necessarily be unexplored, but very very few people go through there. Throughout the years. So
I mean, you have to be very equipped to go deep into the woods.
right,
You
right,
know, especially if you're walking through the woods or
yeah,
on jet skis or four wheelers.
right.
You have to be prepared, and because I don't know, because I've never been in the woods, but I think the deeper you get in, the colder it get.
Well, it depends on where you're at. If you're here in
Right.
Texas, man, it'll get nasty. You'll be sweating your rear end off and just fighting mosquitoes and bugs. And in the wintertime, it's probably not so bad.
You have
But
mosquitoes
you know, yeah,
up in your butt. That's crazy. So you showed me something the other day on my show before we came
right,
on. Um, you showed me a footprint. Do you have
right,
it with you?
yeah, yeah. This is a print that my friend Shane Church gave me from Oklahoma. Uh, yeah,
Holy crap!
yeah.
Can you back it up a little bit? Yeah, like that. There you go.
There you go. Yeah,
Wow. What
yeah.
size is that?
I can't remember if it's 16 or 18 inches. Uh,
Holy moly!
yeah. Yeah, Lupe has one that's talking right now. Yeah, Shane Church gave us one.
Oh,
He's
is
part of
he?
the.
Does he?
Yeah, I don't remember if Lupe remembers, but yeah, this is from the Southern Bigfoot Alliance. Shane's been a friend of mine for a number of years, and he came across that. Then I've got these smaller ones that you can't really
Those are what,
tell. No, these are like
baby?
we think they might be knuckle prints.
Oh,
Can't
knuckle
really
prints of
tell.
them
Yeah,
going down.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah. Yeah, we found a set of four of those. I don't know if you can see the grooves.
Yeah, I can see the grooves.
Yeah, they look
Wow.
like just like like knuckle prints. Um, yeah, we found a set of four of those, and
Imagine the dudes kicking field goals for the Texans. Ooh, that's Lupe. So this, like I said, I am a big fan of it. Everything I know, I've seen on TV or researched it online. But I definitely would love to go out with a team, not
yeah,
by myself, not by, with a team,
yeah,
and maybe for like a weekend, say like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just to
right,
see what we can hear. I don't
yeah,
I don't I don't want to see it. If I can hear it, I'm fine. If I can
yeah,
hear knocking, I'm fine.
yeah,
If I can find footprints, I'm fine. Or some skin or some hair up on a tree.
yeah,
But to actually see it, You might have to call the ambulance and get a helicopter to get me out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we heard some pretty crazy vocals, man, and it'll make your butthole pucker. I'll tell you that.
Really?
And you hear those wood knocks. It's pretty intense. I mean, it sounds like someone taking batting practice out there in the middle of the woods. You
Wow.
know, yeah.
So those wood knocks, those wood knocks is communication. Are they? You think they're telling other Sasquatches there's
I
people
think
there?
so. Yeah, I think it's definitely some kind of either warning system or maybe even letting them know that hey, I'm over here. I'm in position. Where are you at? And they're letting each
Oh,
other know.
wow. That's scary.
So you're saying they still need to come on
Bob
down,
Barker.
Vic.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on Texas. Bob
on the
Barker. I
on the
used to watch
Squatch
that
is
show.
right.
Yeah, the price ain't right. It ain't right. Listen, okay. So so this is why I'm glad that Brian connected us
Right.
because you know I'm a big fan of Sasquatch Bigfoot, and one of my dreams is to actually go out with a team
Right.
and for a weekend. I don't care where it is, Texas. I don't care where it is. Get a group of guys. We'll set up a date. We'll meet at a location and we'll go out. I'll bring the cameras, and
The
some
recorders,
fireworks, some
fireworks.
grenades,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
grenades, some
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
flashbangs.
yeah, anything to go boom, get away. But
Yeah.
so that's something you and I can talk about
Right.
later
Yeah.
on, off camera, off the show and stuff, and see if we can make that happen. Maybe you can reach out to some of your buddies, that
Right.
have experience in the woods because I don't want to get
Right.
lost.
Oh yeah. Oh no,
Okay.
you won't. Yeah, you won't.
And maybe go out and we'll do some camping. Um,
We'll eat good. I'll tell you that.
oh yeah, I love fish.
Yeah. We'll eat
And
good.
I hear they love the river. I hear they like to be around the river.
Yeah, especially here in the
Look at
summertime. I think they like to be around the
Lopez.
rivers.
Look,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lupe's got he's
Lopez
got
said
enough
he got the
ammo
boomed up.
for everybody, man.
Well, guess what, Lopez? I'll be hanging with you. I'll be with
Glued to
him.
his hip.
I'll be with him all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good dude,
I'll
man.
be with him.
He's a good dude.
Yes. What's up,
Yeah.
Steve? Stevie, that's Stevie all the way from the UK. Big shout out to the UK in the building.
Oh,
So,
nice.
you know, yeah, Stevie is actually brother of a Bigfoot in the UK.
Okay.
I'm only kidding. Stevie's a great guy. Stevie's actually an actor. Great dude. Great dude. So, tell us a little bit about your experience with the paranormal. I know you had some experiences back in your time. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Like I said, I always grew up believing in the paranormal. Uh, I never had any experiences with it until I was maybe, I guess, 35, right in that area. Uh, Another lifetime ago, I lived in a different house, and my family was there, and from day one, um, we all experienced stuff. I was there maybe a week, and I felt the bed go down. At the time, I had a boxer, a dog, and I thought it was him trying to get on the bed, which he knew he wasn't supposed to do, and plus he wasn't even allowed into the bedroom. Um, so I sat up and I was like, I'm gonna take man, get your ass off the bed, but there was
Yeah, yeah.
nobody there. But I felt
Wow.
the bed go down, and then a couple of days later, the same thing happened. I thought it was him again, and I sat up and there was nobody there. So I went to the kitchen. My family's in the kitchen, and I'm like, "Hey, this house is haunted." And that's all I said to them. And they all looked around, and my daughter said, "I know it is." She says, "I already,
What?
Yeah, just I mean, like I said, we weren't even there maybe a week, and she's like, "Yeah, it is." I saw a bright light come out of my closet. She said she was on the phone one night, and this big flashlight came out of her closet, like someone took a picture. Um,
Wow.
and there's not even a light bulb in that room. You know, sometimes a light bulb will go out in a flash.
Right.
There's not even a light bulb in that closet. Um,
Wow. Could have been an
and
orb.
then
Could have been an orb.
it maybe it was something that just came out real fast. Maybe it looked like a flash to her. You know, it definitely could have been. We've
Right.
actually filmed orbs. You know, I know some people don't think orbs are spirits or whatever, but I personally I
I do.
do.
I
You
do.
know, and we had a lot of video of orbs flying around.
Wow.
Um, we've uh, we've all been poked or touched. You know, I was poked in the ribs one day. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, you know, getting ready to go to work and being lazy, and I felt myself get poked right in the ribs. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, just like somebody poked me in the ribs with their fingers. You know, heard footsteps in that house. Faucets would come on. Um, After I had left that house, my daughter called me one day. Was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm making some tacos. You know, there's some duck. I got some duck tacos if you want some." So I drove by there, and we were talking to her boyfriend at the time, and we were telling him about the house, and he didn't believe us. And when I'm like, "Dude," I said, this kitchen sink comes on all the time by itself."
Oh,
And he shook his head, and right when he did that, the kitchen sink came on, the faucet came on. Yeah, and he just looked at the faucet. He walked over to the faucet. He
I would have
turns it off.
disappeared.
He turns it off. He looks underneath. He gets underneath the sink. He opens up the cabinet doors and looks in there. There's nothing under there. You know, he's looking at the sink. He's turning it on and off, trying to figure out what happened. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Ireland. Yeah, yeah, that
Or
was pretty
I'm
funny.
sorry, that's the UK. He's from Ireland. Shout out to Ireland. My people. So, did you get any? Did you feel anything before you felt the pokes? Did you feel any energy in the
You
room,
know, you know,
or
never
you
felt
didn't feel anything? You
any.
just felt the poke.
Yeah, yeah, I felt the poke. I never felt anything cold or hot. I never felt anything that was bad or good. Like one day, I woke up. It was like maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I woke up, and I saw this black figure right next to the bed, and it moved towards me, and I threw a kick at it. But that was me getting scared. You know what I'm saying? I got scared. I don't think it was trying to scare me,
Right.
but I could tell it was a woman. It looked like a woman, you know, like in a dress.
Wow.
And you know, when I threw a kick at it, it disappeared.
Right.
And you
No,
know,
hold on.
I,
Hold on. You said something funny. You threw a kick at it. How,
right.
how can you throw a kick at
Uh,
somebody?
hey, let me tell you something. When you're scared, you're gonna do it.
I
Yeah,
threw a. That's funny. I like that one. So
yeah.
you think she was trying to communicate
You know, I don't
with
know.
you,
Communicate, maybe get a better look at me. You know, I think that sometimes that there is, you know,
or
that veil, and just like we can't see them too clearly, maybe they can't see us too clearly either. You know, so I think that's part of it. And but you know, my son had an interesting story. He called me one day at work. He's like, "Dad, I'm sitting here watching TV." He had just graduated high school, as a matter of fact. He's like, "I'm sitting here watching TV, and I see some movement out of the corner of my eye." And he goes, I look, and I see this gray figure. It was transparent, but he could see this figure reaching out, like pointing the finger at him. And he says it just barely touched his arm, and when he did, all his hair stood up on his arm, and the figure disappeared.
wow,
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
yeah. So, and
You know,
you know,
there's a lot of stuff out here in this world.
yeah, you know, and yeah, there's a lot of things that go on in this world that we don't know about, and
Yeah,
as like I said, that's part of the reason why I do my shows, is to kind of talk and get information out there. You know, hear different experiences, different perspectives.
right. Well, Stevie's saying he had marks on his back and hands. Use sage and
Sage,
prayers to cleanse my home.
right? Yep, yep. I've got
Wow.
sage right now, right here. I got my sage.
Mm. I ain't got sage. I got a stage.
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple of guns too. So
Oh,
if
see,
those don't help,
we
hopefully the sage will.
the closest thing I got to a gun is Texas. That's it, Texas.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. And there's my
Okay.
hat, my Bob
Yes.
Gimlin hat.
Yeah, we in the building. Texas in the building, baby. So you also had other encounters besides the paranormal stuff with some UFO stuff. You want to talk about the
Right.
UFO
Yeah.
stuff?
So yes, I was fishing with somebody else. I won't say his name. We were fishing in Galveston, as a matter of fact, and we were on the jetties. For those of you guys who don't know what jetties are, they're like the big rocks that protect the beach from the waves, and the city of Galveston, really, for that matter, uh, from the waves and hurricanes when the high tides come in and the floods come in. So we're on the jetties and we're fishing. Uh, he's maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 feet down to my right, and he's like, "Hey Joe, look, what's that?" And he's pointing to my left, so I look up at my left, and I see this round disc that's just like cruising along the shoreline, and it's maybe 300 feet right above us. And it
Wow.
was a clear night, full moon was out, and I mean we saw it perfect, just clear as day, and it just flew right above us, just so slow and so smooth, no sound, no lights. There's a little airstrip from where we were at, maybe 2 or 3 miles down the way, and you could hear those little planes coming in, buzzing in, the single engine planes, and this thing was right above us, so we couldn't even
Yeah.
hear it. And it was going way too slow for anything else to stay in the air. Everything has to have some kind of airspeed, unless it's a helicopter,
Yeah.
um, to stay in the air. And this thing was just cruising so slow, and it probably took about 5 minutes for it to get out of sight.
Wow.
And yeah, and
Wow.
then I don't know, 6, 7 months ago now, I guess I was outside at my friend's house. We were out doing some bigfooting, and we came back to his house, and I was saying our goodbyes and stuff, and I seen these two lights in the sky come towards each other like this, and then when they got close, they just made a couple little circles, and then they went the opposite way.
Wow.
Yeah,
Texas is known for a lot of sightings, UFO sightings, because
yeah,
Mexico's right next door, and Mexico is known for a lot of sightings.
yeah, yeah. Mexico has a lot of sightings. Mexico is known for like, all kinds of weird stuff. All
Yeah.
kinds of strange phenomenon. You know,
Right.
uh, spiritual. Paranormal. UFOs, cryptids. Yeah, it could be. It could be Shannon. She said she's talked to a lot of alien contactees. They see auras before contact. I question if this is how they travel because these ships are so small. Right.
Right.
That is a possibility.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
That could be Shannon. That could be. You know,
Whereas there's
where
nuclear,
there's
there are
nuclears,
aliens.
there are aliens. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad there ain't no nuclears here, Shannon. I'm glad there ain't none here. They can stay over there somewhere. Okay. Well, researching and watching a lot of stuff online. Um, they've been saying they can be walking among us.
Right.
They're so intelligent. They're way more intelligent than we are, and you know, uh, and I just been lately been watching a lot of UFO stuff. Unexplained. It's called Unexplained
Right.
Aliens, something like that. It's called Unexplained.
Right.
And I've been watching it. Military's coming to, they're coming forward and talking about it. Um, I know. I think it was 1954, if I'm not mistaken, in New Mexico when that UFO crashed, and they found three aliens inside, three little ones. I guess
Right.
the ship had
Roswell.
like, yeah, they had like, yeah. What is it? Ground wool? I forgot the name of it.
Roswell. Roswell.
Yes, Roswell.
Yeah.
And they found it. I guess I don't know if two died and one was still alive,
Right.
but you know
Yeah.
how? Yeah,
Yeah. That's a very interesting story in itself. Just the fact that at first the military actually came out and said, "Yeah, we found a UFO," and then the next day they had to come out and say, "Well, it was a weather balloon." How do you go
Right.
from UFO to weather balloon? You know,
This is how you know they lied. You catch them in the lie. Back then, we didn't. First, they were saying it was glitches of cameras.
right,
Doing hokey dokes. We didn't have that type of camera to do that.
right,
You know, there was no way cameras can do that.
right,
Not in 1954. Hell no.
right,
So that's one lie. You know, um, Area 51, just like Shannon's saying, that's a lot of activity over there. You know, but my thing is this, right, Joe? I hear about wormholes and all types of stuff that we have. That we can go across these wormholes and go to other planets and stuff. Whatever. We don't know how real that is. We hear about it,
right.
but what's the possibility that our own government have those type of UFOs and just they take them out once in a while just to see how they operate?
Oh, I think it's a good possibility. Yeah, I think it's a good possibility that they have these crafts. As a good possibility they have aliens, and
Yes.
different beings from different worlds.
Right.
I think they reverse engineered some of the technology.
Right.
And like you said, trying to figure out how it works. I think they've been doing
Hmm.
that for a long time. I think
Yeah.
really every country in the world has probably had their own, Roswell, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. I was thinking that the other day. I said, what if we have those and we're just putting them out there to see how they work, and
right.
see so you can use them to, like I said, go through these wormholes and go to these other planets
Yeah,
and investigate, explore.
right. There are stories out there of us, making trips to different planets, being um, having an agreement with different species or what have you. There are stories of that happening. There are people that talk about that kind of stuff. People who claim to been in those programs or to know about those programs. Uh,
Right.
so, you know, and some of these people are very convincing.
Right. They
You
are.
know, you've got to really question everything, but some of these people are really convincing when you hear them talk.
Right. And a lot of them come from military, so they know they've been there, they've seen it. A lot of them, the ones I've heard were pilots. A lot of pilots, talk about seeing crafts in the air, just dropping from the sky, whoop, and just humming right there and just disappearing.
Right.
You know, um, it's just incredible how they can maneuver in the air and disappear so fast. Um, it's hard to do, with
Right.
a regular plane. Uh, Shannon says, in my opinion, dimensions are real. You travel
Oh yeah.
every time you dream.
Yeah. Yeah. I think some dreams are more than just dreams. I think some dreams are some kind of portal or whatever you want to
Right.
call it.
Portals, yeah. I also hear about portals too. Government got portals as well where you can go. Have you ever seen on YouTube? I seen this one where this lady was crossing the street and a car was coming, almost hit, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy just came out, whoom, and pushed her out the way, like he came out of a portal and just
Right.
pushed her out the way, you know. Um, and and you look, and there's no way this guy could have just came out the highway from nowhere,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So I believe there's portals and that they don't talk about
Yeah. Yeah. Whether or not we can control that or not, yeah, it's interesting.
is
And,
Bigfoot interdimensional.
Shannon, I I personally don't really know. I would have to say no based on what I've researched or what the people that I've talked to personally. Um, and I've been lucky enough to talk to hundreds of people. Um, So I would have to say no, but that's not to say that there are people out there that say they've seen them come through portals or get dropped off by UFOs or disappear right before their eyes. And it's like I said earlier, I would never tell anybody what they saw or what they didn't see or what happened to them. Whatever someone experienced, that's what they experienced. That would be close-minded of me to say, well, that's not what happened to you.
Wow. You know what? We're going to have to build a team. We're going to have to build a team, and we need to get together and research some of these things. We're going to
Right,
need we're going to need Bigfoot researchers like yourself, Joe. We need to find some UFO researchers and get together and see what we can figure out and go out and actually see if we can find some answers.
right.
Because like UFOs, Bigfoot, what's the other one? Uh,
Paranormal.
Paranormal. Three
Right,
things that people are iffy about, and we
right,
need answers. We need answers. With the paranormal, you know, any question could be right or could be wrong.
right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because we don't know that side of the world yet. We're
right.
still investigating. I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about like government or like NASA. They probably know more than us. But I'm
Right.
talking about people like you and I that are now getting into it and investigating. We need to investigate with investigators, people like yourself, research Bigfoot, and get some UFO researchers. Sit down on the table and say, okay, this is what I know, um, and this is what I want to do, and where do we start?
Right. Right. And
And
yeah, just
I'm
put
done,
our,
Vic.
our our
Right.
information and our data together and see what we come up with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because, if we can't get the answers from our own government that we need to know, then we need to do this. We need to do the work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that have knowledge of what we're talking about, that we can reach out to. You got some people that research Bigfoot.
Right.
That would be the first thing I would want to do is see if we can uh, get a group together and go out to some of these places and see what we can see or hear for ourselves.
Mhm.
And we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
bring that forward to our social media platform.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know,
And like Shannon here, man, she's interesting as hell. I'm reading her comments. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of abductions as well. See,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a little
And I've
iffy for
talked to
me.
people who have been abducted too, man. I've talked to people who have been abducted too. I have a really, really
Right.
good friend of mine that's an abductee. Yeah.
See, the abduction with me is iffy, right?
Right.
I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but it's a little iffy for me. I mean,
Right.
like if listen, if I take something, I'm taking it. I ain't bringing it back, and I ain't putting it back. I'm gonna take it.
Well, I mean, look at us. We do experiments on different animals, and we put them back. We tag them, we release them.
The only
You know,
thing I put back is my girl. If any girl, I put her back.
there you go,
Please
there you
beam
go.
her back down. Beam
Yeah,
her back down.
yeah. Take her back. Yeah,
She says, I believe Bigfoot is a multi-dimensional creature. Okay.
but like I said, if that's what he wants to believe,
I
who
mean,
am
that's
I to?
your,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Who am I to say that they're not? I don't know for sure. I don't think anyone knows for sure.
Right.
But I know from what I've talked to people that I've talked to and the research I've done, and they're a flesh and blood creature, and if
Yeah.
you know, I don't think they're really any special than any other animal, out there, including us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. They've been around since 19. What was it? 67. They're
Well, that
since
was yeah, that was like I said, the Patterson Gimlin film. But
yeah,
the
sightings.
Vikings, like I said, even the Vikings is ran into them. So
Yeah, this go way
Native
back.
Native,
This go
yeah,
way back with
yeah,
these creatures that people have seen them, and they even drew some of them on stone. Like if you
right,
go to some caves, like the Indians in my country in Puerto Rico, and
right,
I don't know how they swum to my island, but you find stones that got creatures like hairy and big head and tall. How do we know?
right,
It's
yeah.
not a Bigfoot. It's not a Sasquatch. Hold on, people coming in fast. Hold on a second. What's up,
That's
Brandon? My man, Brandon Lee, paranormal investigator. My man, 50 grand in the bin and funhouse. What's up, baby boy? We got Mark Lee. Mark Lee's another paranormal investigator. Enlightened Souls, great guy. Can't get no crazier than that guy. I'll tell you. I have a lady that gets contacted a few times a week. Shannon, I need you on the
yeah.
show. I
Shannon, I
need
want to talk
Shannon.
to you. I want to
Yeah,
talk to you, Shannon.
yeah. We need you on our show, Shannon. Shannon is the next contestant on The Price is Right.
There you go.
Using portals to travel between them. Yeah. Well, yeah. UFOs. Yeah. I don't think Bigfoot's travel to portals.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't either, but
We never know.
I'm still trying to prove that they exist to
Right.
people. You know,
Right.
I'll get to the portals and to the cloaking and mind speak later. Let's try to prove that these things exist first.
Right. Let's just wait until we sit one down. We'll tie him
Yeah,
up. We'll tie him up, and then we interrogate
Well,
him. Do you
yeah,
go
we'll
through
interrogate.
portals? And then we get you that answer, Mark.
Yeah.
If you start inside slots in the underground caves, Bill, you may think again. Well, yeah, we,
Right.
we, we spoke about that, Shannon. We
Yeah.
spoke about that. You know, the caves is probably where they could be hiding deep, deep down in caves, underground, deep, deep, deep in the woods.
Right. You know.
You know, Boricua,
Definitely.
what's up, Walter? My man, 50 grand. Also, flying saucers are drawn in caves. Yes,
Yep.
and in the ocean. Um, it's
Like
funny. I say,
some of the
yeah,
hieroglyphs, like from the pyramids and stuff, show pictures of what looks like flying saucers or flying crafts, like airplanes or rockets or what have you. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. And
Yeah.
even like um,
Uh,
ancient
Like the Sumerian
drawings,
text. Yeah. Like the
ancient
ancient
drawings.
Sumerian text. Uh, the Sumerians talk about battles in the sky between cities. You
Yes,
know.
right,
Where did they
right,
get that from? You know.
right. And some of the drawings, you can see some of the drawings like their heads were like helmets
Right.
and like breathing, and then they got wings,
Right. Yeah.
and we're going way back. So
Right.
they could be talking about aliens, instead of God, calling them gods,
Exactly.
and got us all confused. We thinking it's gods from the sky,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
actually. Hi, Sean. What's up, Big Sean in the building? Another paranormal investigator. They in the building. They coming investigating. Oh, please don't call Barbara. Barbara's another paranormal investigator. She's awesome. Let me see. In Puerto Rico, there is a famous lake that people say often UFOs fly in and out of it. Is it Orocovis? I think so. You know what, Walter? I did see something like that the other day online, about UFOs flying to Puerto Rico. They used to fly a lot. Why I don't know. Um, but I did hear that a lot of sightings were seen in Puerto Rico. I really think they were coming down for the rice and beans. You heard? They were coming up arroyo, habichuela y pollo, Bobby.
He made me something one day, some kind of rice and bean sausage mixture. He said it was a Puerto Rican dish.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
he
if
made me.
If he's Puerto Rican, it's a Puerto Rican dish.
Yeah. Everything he makes is Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah. And I think it's Orocovis, Walter. I think it's Orocovis, but it could be anywhere around Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico's a small island. What about the Devil's Triangle?
Where's the Devil's Triangle at? I don't know. You talking about the Bermuda Triangle?
That's the only one I know.
Yeah.
The Bermuda.
There's also the Bridgewater Triangle also.
Yeah. The Air Force has video of USOs coming from the ocean. Atlantis, and does Atlantis still exist? Well, Atlantis is underwater. I've seen documentaries of it. They found it a couple years ago. They found the whole city underwater.
Right.
So there's Atlantis, but I've also heard that they seen a couple of crafts, UFOs, going in the ocean and coming out of the ocean, and some lakes too. Some lakes. So it could be a possibility that they have a station deep in the ocean. We don't know. Anything is possible with these guys because their technology is so advanced that anything is possible with them.
I guess that's what he made me.
Yeah, those are Tony. The Bermuda. The Bermuda Triangle.
Right. Yeah, actually, I was looking at something today about Bermuda Triangle. It's pretty interesting.
What'd you hear?
This pilot, he was flying from Miami to somewhere else. It was supposed to be like a 45-minute, an hour flight. He was flying through the Bermuda Triangle, and he went to like a vortex, and he got to his destination within like 30 minutes, and so it cut like 30 minutes off his time. And he wanted to make sure that his time was right. He looked at his gas. He still had 10 gallons more of gas than what should have taken him for the flight originally. Yeah, and I like Shannon's comment here too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's funny you said Bermuda. Something came to my head. The Bermuda Triangle is a triangle, right? It's a triangle, right?
Right.
They say the UFOs ships a triangle. What if there's a station at the Bermuda, a UFO station, like that's where and when you go through there, you lose time. Right. And, ships has gone down and nobody can ever find them.
Right.
What if there's a station down there?
Or what
it could be anything.
Like, yeah.
That's sucking. That's sucking. Because yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, there's
what if they beam you down?
There's the Bridgewater Triangle, and then of course there's Skinwalker Ranch. All kinds of stuff happens there, and I think that maybe they're all kind of related in some way. Mermaids are aliens.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I definitely think that even us, to a degree, we may be some kind of hybrid. Some more than others.
And you know what's funny? You're from Texas, right?
Right.
Joe? I've heard and I've seen online in Mexico, they found some werewolves. They were probably like 7 feet. Their face was out like werewolves, in their bodies. Right. They have bodies, and the army was cutting through and seen a bunch of them. They started running and they shot, like killed 2, and 1 was still alive. They shot him and they showed him online.
Right.
nothing I ever like. I've never seen this in my life.
Right, right,
But it looked like it was like straight werewolf. It was like human body with a head like a werewolf. I'm
right,
like,
right.
holy crap! I don't
Yeah.
know if you heard
Well,
about that.
yeah, the Aztecs talked about them actually. And the Aztecs were thousands of years ago. 2,000 years ago, whatever. They used to talk about them. That they would see
So they
them
they
up in
they
the hilltop.
they seen a bunch of them crossing through the desert,
Right.
the army, and they started shooting and they killed a couple, but they shot one and was still alive.
Pompeii. That's
Oh,
where that big volcano.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very. Uh, uh, it's a good possibility, Shannon, that Bermuda
Yes,
is
it
a
is. It's a
big.
very good possibility. It could be a portal.
Yeah.
You know, because they say planes be up 35,000 feet and it just sucks it down. You know what type of power you have to suck stuff down from the air
Right. Yeah. With no trace.
with no
And
trace.
yeah, further down, Shannon says the Aztecs were so ahead of our time, it's ridiculous. Uh,
There's a huge dimensional portal.
and there were like 250,000 of the Aztecs, and then they just up and disappeared. What happened to all those people? They just
Right.
disappeared.
So see, we have all these questions,
Right.
all these amazing people here online.
Right.
We need to form a group.
Yeah.
We need to form a group and we
A
need to go
coalition.
investigate.
A coalition of
Coalition
investors.
for real. We got we got Walter. He got everything we need for ammunition. We good with Walter. No, it's Lopez.
Yeah.
We got Walter. We ain't gonna stop because he got the totones and habichuelas. We
Right.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Okay,
gonna feed us.
he gonna feed us, so we good.
Mhm.
OMG, I just read about that.
Probably talking about the Aztecs disappearing. That they just disappeared without a trace.
Oh, she did. That's what she
Yeah.
said. Vortex. Yes. So guys, these are amazing topics that we're talking about.
Yeah. We could talk for hours about this stuff.
We can, we
Yeah.
can, and I'm the type of guy, I don't like to talk about things. I like to investigate them.
Yeah.
I like to investigate them because I want to have an answer to a
Right.
question. And we might have to go get Shannon and bring her on our team.
Yeah.
To do the research.
Yeah.
It's doing a sandstorm. You know,
Yeah.
so Joe, you Joe, can you show these guys one more time? Can you show them the print, the footprint?
From Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah, from Oklahoma. Guys, this is a footprint from Oklahoma that Joe, look at this.
A friend of mine actually got it from Oklahoma. Shane Church.
That's
Uh,
a footprint of a Sasquatch about 16 inches, right? You said?
yeah, 16 or 18. I need to remeasure it, but yeah, it's either like 16 or 18 inches. Um, he found it in Oklahoma. His name is Shane Church, part of the Southern Bigfoot Alliance. That's his group, Southern Bigfoot Alliance.
Okay, we need to get him aboard.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. He's a
You
great
know?
researcher. Him and yeah, like Walter and Lupin, Shane. All those
Yeah.
guys are Bigfoot guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we on to something, Joe. We on to
Yes, sir.
something. You know, listen, guys. I'm just an actor. I'm I'm just a podcast guy. So all I do is I bring the cameras. You guys do the research. You guys go in the woods. Well, I stay and record. Okay, for real, for real. I'll play the music, whatever you guys want. Don't bring me in the woods.
Okay.
Okay, for real. So so you had some encounters with uh paranormal stuff as well. You've seen some sightings of UFOs. So you pretty much seen a lot of stuff in your time, and you've had a lot of doubts, that you had about seeing UFOs. You've seen them, so you believe in it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so you guys, great show. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for coming aboard the show.
Yeah, thanks for
And
participating. I like that a lot.
yeah, huh?
I told her thanks for participating. I like when people do that. When they
Yeah, yeah,
participate.
yeah. I like for them to engage as well, not just to
Yeah.
come and watch us talk, but to also engage. That I tell them all the time. If you have a question that you want my guest to answer a question to my guest, put it up and I'll put it out there, and we'll get you the answer to your question. Um, I like this. I like this a lot. People engaging into what we're talking about is amazing. Shannon's been great. Everybody else has been great that's been on here. But I see a lot of amazing people online right now watching the show. Uh, and this, like I said, this is an interesting topic. Bigfoot, UFOs, and paranormal. One of the three top um, topics that people like to engage and talk about because people got a lot of questions. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I do too. you know, that's what I'm
Yeah.
still trying to do. Still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one question: what are those photos behind you?
Those are just pictures of things that my interest. I work at a printing company, so I put them together. I've got, let's see, there's a UFO and a guy. This is a
Okay.
witch. This guy is Hat Man. I don't know if anybody knows anything about Hat Man, but that's Hat Man. And there's a fairy next to him, and then behind me there's Bigfoot. Then there's an alien, and then there's a dog man.
Okay. Now it's interesting that you say that because of everything you got back there, one, two, three, four of those things we know about or we probably sure about. But there's one that I don't think people are sure about or never probably even seen or they heard of it, but probably never seen. The witch.
Right.
What do we know about the witch?
Well, I don't think witches exist today. You know, they're not what Hollywood. You know, they don't ride around on brooms and you know, you
I'm
know,
hoping they do so they can give me a ride.
yeah, you know. But
Okay.
witches exist today. I think there's I've certainly dabbled myself with with the craft. I don't think it's
Right.
anything negative. I think anytime you hear witchcraft, you think it's the devil's work, and it's not.
Right.
It's there are different witches, white witches, green witches. Um,
We got a
you know,
Barney.
I, I, yeah.
Purple. We got a
I think
purple witch.
Hollywood, huh?
We got a purple witch like Barney.
Yeah, purple witch, yeah, party witch, yeah, all that. But yeah, they're just different, different witches, and some are like the Wiccans are the religious sector, I
Right.
guess you could say. Being a witch doesn't mean you're not religious. Doesn't mean that you are religious. There are Christian, witches. Non-denominational witches.
Right.
Uh, yeah, being a witch isn't a bad thing.
Right.
It's not as like I said, Hollywood has really taken liberty with that image.
Right. So I like Shannon. I'm loving you, Shannon.
Yeah, man, me too. Yeah, yeah, witches are healers, man. Um, they do a lot with not just healing of others, but healing of the planet, for that matter.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Listen, today's show is amazing. I think that this is one of the shows I love the most because so many questions unanswered,
right,
right?
right,
And we all have questions, and none of the questions are right or wrong. Uh, we're like in the middle in the limbo, right? Trying to
right,
figure out, trying to get the right answer for the people, trying to get facts, for the people, and maybe photos and of Sasquatch and you know and certain things that we can bring to the light and show people like, hey, this is real. We was here, we seen it. Here's a picture, or here's an actual body, whatever it may be,
right,
and bring that forward. That's that's what I want to do. I want to be able to get with a team to be able to get these answers.
Right.
Because the research is out there. We don't did the research. We just need the proof.
Right.
So we need to put a team together and go out there for a weekend and see what we can find
Right. Yeah.
and show these non-believers that, hey, this is true. This is happening. This is real.
Yeah.
You know, um, I just seen online a guy that they were going under the ocean, right? They went so deep under the ocean, they found a river under the ocean. Can you imagine that?
Right.
So there's
Yeah.
water, there's water, and then water rolling down the ocean,
Right.
and it had like rocks. It looked like a shore.
Hmm.
First time I ever seen that. Sky blue too. It was just like, so the ocean's here, and they said that they were trying to go under it, and it just pushed them back up. They couldn't go any further
Hmm.
from where it was, which was very interesting. I started as beer brewer, and the churches made them evil.
Yeah.
They started as beer brewers, and the church made them evil. The witch's tall hat is what brewers wore during festivals, and people could flag them down easier. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah. Yeah, Shannon, we got to talk. I'd love to have you on the show if Vic don't snag you up first. Well, you look like he froze there for a second. So if anyone's interested, my show is called Beyond the Woodline. You can contact me at beyond.woodline@gmail.com. Hit me up with the email. Send me a friend request. It's Joe De Hoyos. I'm on Facebook. Of course, my group page, Beyond the Woodline, on Facebook. Um, yeah. Well, it looks like I'm on my own here. I don't know what happened to old Thick, but yeah, some good Bigfoot stories if you guys are interested. Whoever's maybe still listening, look up Mike Woolley on YouTube. He's got a real good story. One of my all-time favorites. You know, uh, I won't spoil it for you. Just look him up, Mike Woolley. He passed away in 2019. Great, great guy. Of course, look up Will Jevning, Creek Devil. That's his show. He's my friend and mentor. Taught me a lot about Bigfoot, how to research, what to look for, how to talk to people. You know, so nice that spread the black plague. Okay. Well, I'm reading your comments, Shannon. Pretty good. Said they always had cats to kill mice that spread the black plague. That's good. Yeah, so you know a lot more about witches than I do. Like I said, I've dabbled. I've actually got a couple of books on witchcraft. Um, now I'm doing the Reiki healing and stuff like that. That's what I'm reading now. Reading stuff on remote viewing. Um, been reading stuff like on to build up your psychic abilities, stuff like that. And yeah, just trying to broaden my horizons, I guess you could say, and learn as much as I can. I do not know what happened to Vic. Let me text him real quick. Oh, really? That's interesting. You remote view. I work with the FBI. See, I really want to get you on the show then. I really do. I really want to talk to you more about remote viewing, and I'd really
I'm
like to pick
back.
your brain
I'm
too,
back.
if you don't mind about that. That's what I really want to do too. Learn how to do it. I started doing some exercises last night, as a matter of fact.
I'm back. I'm
Um,
back.
So yeah, hit me up, man. I would love to talk to you, Shannon. Um, and I'd love for you to remote view a place if you would be interested in that.
So, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm
I'm
sorry, man.
talking
I
to
don't know.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
to Shannon. Me and Shannon took over the show where you were gone.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
So every time I talk about UFOs or something like that, something happens to the show. So
yeah.
Shannon
It happens to me all the
it's
time.
amazing. She's really engaging with us.
Yeah, yeah. I was telling her that I actually
I'm
started
remote
doing some remote
viewer.
viewing
I work
exercises
with.
last night, and she's a psychic medium, and I want her to remote view a place for me if she would be
Oh,
interested,
she said
or just to talk to me, period, and help me out
I work
to
with.
learn how to do it myself.
She said I'm remote viewer. I work with the FBI. Oh, FBI. Bye, Shannon.
she, she, she part with the
Yeah,
Men in Black.
yeah, she probably was psychic and medium. She's psychic and medium. Absolutely. We love Shannon.
Yeah,
Shannon, as I was trying to help. Yeah, they kicked me. They booed me out my own show.
yeah. The Men in Black got you out.
Yeah, they
Who was
got me
talking to you?
out. See, I knew something was wrong when I seen the FBI. I said, "Oh boy, they kicked me out."
Hey Shannon, just out of curiosity, do you know anything about dreams? Have you ever done any work with dreams? I've been looking to talk to someone about dreams I've been having, but I don't want to say I've been having. Um, uh, she's funny. She's a great gal, man. Shit, yeah, Shannon, you're gonna be my best friend now. But yeah, I've been having
For
these
real, mine's
dreams,
too,
right?
Shannon.
My dad passed away like 10 years ago, and I've had a
Yeah.
couple of dreams, like four dreams of him in it since then. And he never says anything to me when I see him in my dreams. He never talks to me. And when you talked earlier about dreams, uh, what did you say about the dream, Shannon? I don't remember about going to another
Well,
dimension when you're dreaming. And
right,
so
the
that's why
dimension, but
I, I believe that.
right, right. I had a dream one time, and I believe that the dream was giving me a heads up, was telling me
Mm,
something futuristic, right?
mm.
I had a dream about Jesus that came in my life, right? I'm walking down,
Okay.
I'm walking down some spiral stairs. I see my father laying, and where Jesus was laid at, and he's laying like this, looking at me, but he's not, and he's talking. So I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand what that was all about. So Jesus was walking down the spiral stair. I'm walking behind him. As soon as we get to the door, he disappears, and I see my father there. I'm like, what does this mean? Moving forward, my father had cancer. I didn't know it because I was locked up at the time. So I'm driving to New York one day, and I get a phone call. My sister says, "You got to come home." I said, "What is it?" She said, "Pops is at the hospital, and he's not doing too good." I turned my car around and I flew back home, and I went to see my father. And he was positioned the same way I seen him when I went down the spiral stairs. He was had his hands like this, maybe a little lower, but he had them like this. His head was turned sideways with a lot of tubes in his
Let the Men in Black are getting them again.
right. Of course, started crying. And I asked the doctor, "What's going on?" I asked the doctor, "What's going on?" Through cancer, and where we had to put these tubes in them. So I go back and I sit down. I go home and I start thinking. So I believe that some dreams could be telling you something that might be happening in the future.
Right.
Astral projecting. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've always known that my dad was around. I can always tell when he's around.
Yeah. 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 Shannon right now is carry boy. You know,
So she's on it, man. She's on it.
yeah, she's on it, boy. She we gotta find out if she come if she's free from space or she human like us. Okay.
I'm willing to bet she's from somewhere else in her
She's the
past
man
life.
in black.
Yeah,
I believe she's the man in black.
yeah.
You said it. Man in black, woman in black. But definitely we're gonna bring Shannon. Shannon, we're gonna love. We both want you on a show.
Yeah.
We want to find out exactly what it is that you do
Hmm.
and bring you on our show and talk to you a little bit because this is very interesting. Um, great topic, great show. We over. This is an hour show. We're an hour and a half in, so it's a great show. Everybody's engaging.
Me too, Shannon. Me too.
Oh, so there's two of y'all. Okay.
There's two of us. We're both ladies.
Okay. That's awesome. So Joe, what else would you want to tell the viewers?
Just have an open mind. Listen to each other. Um, stop being so mean to each other too. There's so much drama on Facebook. Um, just be nice to each other, man. And if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I know it's kind of an old saying, but I think it's the truth. You have nothing
Right,
nice to say, don't say it at all. Um,
right.
if you want to get involved in any of these fields, whether it be UFOs, aliens, paranormal, cryptid world, uh, find good people to hang out with. I've been lucky enough to fall in with some good people. And yeah, man, yeah, just go out and have fun. If you want to do this kind of stuff, have fun. If not, find me, find Vic. We'll
Yeah,
point you in the right direction.
right. And and like I said, there's amazing people here on watching right now. We have paranormal um, people here: Sean Ellis, Mark Lee, Brandon, Sean. If I didn't say Sean, you know, these guys do the paranormal investigation. They're good at it. Um, Shannon, which is a FBI woman in black.
He's a plant. He's a plant.
She's a plant. Okay, we got Officer Shannon in the building.
Inspector Gadget over
Okay,
here.
yeah. Yeah, we do. We definitely do. This is why we love our show. Everything goes here. And the good thing about our show is that, we give opportunity for you to be you. You be you. This ain't nothing scripted. You speak your mind and it is what it is. You know. So and I'm just glad that everybody came aboard to support my guests, support the show. You guys can go on his show as well. Um, Beyond, what is it? Beyond.
Beyond the wood line.
Hold on, I gotta find it right. Behind the Woodline,
Beyond
and check
the
his
wood.
show out. He's also, yeah, he's because Shannon got me messed up right now. Uh, he also is a talk show host. I've been on the show. If you guys want to come on the show, you guys can reach out to him and come on the show and talk about great things like we're talking about today. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Joe for coming on and telling us his story. But we definitely need to hook up Joe because I really would love to put a team together. Like, I mean, if I have to fly to Texas to come out there with you guys and we can go out for a weekend, I can get
Hell
that
yeah.
on camera. and go live and see what we can hear, man, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'll make sure I bring Shannon with all her
yeah,
guns and all her suits.
yeah.
Okay.
And I heard agents.
Shannon and I have things in common. Yeah, you all three of you guys. So guys, thank you for coming on the show. You know it's your boy Don Vic from the Don Vic Show, baby, here with Joe De Hoyos, and we are going to
I guess he's trying to say goodnight. He froze up again. He froze up again, fellers. He's got to log off again. The men in black do not want him talking. Well, cool. We'll wait for him to get back and log us off officially. Um, he just texted me. He said, "Yeah." I asked him. He got logged off again. He said, "Yeah." Let's see if he comes back. Yeah, Shannon. I mean, I would love to talk to you, pick your brain a little bit, um, get some help with my remote view and stuff. That's what I really trying to focus on now. Well, let's see if he comes back. If he don't come back, I'll have to get off without him. It's past my supper time. Okay, I'll do that, Shannon. I'm gonna find you right now before I forget. I know I won't forget. Uh, okay, sent you a request, Shannon. Well, guys, I guess that's gonna be it, man. Sorry, guys, I froze up. What he's saying on the show. I don't know if he's gonna try to come back or not. Let me ask him if he doesn't come back. I'm just gonna get off and call it a night. You too, Shannon. Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody else for participating too, man. I really appreciate that when you guys do that. Okay, well, he froze. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna log off here and hopefully, um, I guess you can end the show on his own. There's nobody here, so you guys have a good night, guys. I appreciate everything and tune into my show Beyond the Woodline, guys.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. It froze. But thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Joe for coming on the show. Thank you guys for supporting the show. And I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm gonna leave you guys with this amazing music. All right. Good friends to the enemies. I can't mess around with no bad vibes. I can't mess around with no bad vibes. Many wanna take my energy. Good friends to the enemies. Niggas that be hating like they know me. Probably mad now, cause they bitches don't know me. Turn to the old me. Young nigga, it was looking different back in 03 when I was whip out OPs. I was in the prison when I run a day. Bring me back. Well, they let me shoot the nigga phone. No, where me at? Been blood in my Philly. You don't know the hell is that? Put it by myself, man. I hope you niggas follow that. I was in the water, man. They let me drown. I accept that, even daddy let me down. Let my kids down, now I don't see him much now. Let my kids down, I don't see him much now. But me, I'm trying to make it better my situation. Do that shit while all you niggas be hating. Me, I'm getting money. You see all my niggas caking. Me, I'm getting money. Thank you guys for watching the show. I'll see you guys next week. I got 3 great guests coming on the show. Make sure you guys tune in. Show the love. Remember to share, and share is caring. And I'll see y'all next week.